Ui, alo kakaya kakako, alamai, ke ihone ke kai, na hoi, he maha, e kakako kahakai, ohi limu, na ka mea, nui ka limu, pahe e na hoi, ka limu ele ele, ka lipoa na hoi, a e kipa mai kākou a tau. Ko kākou ai na kakahi a ka kela o yoi, o ka limu, na ka mea, ka mele ke ia ka uluwehi o ke kai na hoi.
Kahalu'u Point at He'eia State Park is the home base of the Limu project. Since 1979, Jerry Kaluhiva and some students from the Key Project in Kahalu'u have been trying to restore the growth of the rapidly disappearing Limu beds in Kaneohe Bay.
We're trying to see if this type of Limu could grow here. This is a very fine type of monoware which comes from Kahalu'u area. And we're trying to see if it could grow in this type of environment. Sure is looking good. Look nice and red.
Well, right now we're working in all Hawaiian edible limus. But our main focus in Manawea and Ogo to specialize in that right now. Find out the growth, how long does it take or to grow, or if we could be self-sufficient things. We find out that it can be done, being self-sufficient.
Again, we're using different types of limu in different areas. We brought this over from the other side on the east end. Try to see if this type of limu can grow over here. This is what you call spinosa. It's newly introduced from the Philippines, and we try to see if it grows in this area. And I can tell you right now, it is growing by looking at the young shoots. Sort of look like ogo from the beginning, on the tips of it. But as you get down to the center part, it's kind of bumpy type, and it's edible. It's edible.
This is our food, one of our staple food that we used many years with our raw fish. We make poke aku, poke fish, you name it, all types of fish. So we use limu to mix it as a seasoning with our raw fish. Now, if we don't have limu, we have nothing to take the place of limu. This is what gives you iron. There's a lot of iron in limu. It's good for everybody.
Again, we're trying to make some seedlings by putting some rocks on the bottom, compressing it with our wire underneath against the limu, pressed against the rock. What we're trying to do is make some seedlings so that we can distribute around the Bay Area, especially in this area. Right now we're working in Kahalu'u Point, so what we're trying to do is replenish this bay. Most of this type of gracilaria is hard to find in this pot because of people are not picking in the proper way, or we have some guys that drag net destroying some of our limu beds. This is Limu Ogo. Right now, we're trying to see if we could grow this on a monofilament line and have it like a lay. After it grows like a month and a half, 2 months and a half, we'll come back over here to find out how the growth is growing and how fast or how rapidly it grows every 2.5 months. Most likely we harvest every 2.5 months because of would be just about the right time after plucking it and maintaining this limu. Yeah. We're trying to see if it can grow fully like a lay in bunches, and we have this monitored already. We had it weighted and put into the trap, and after that, in 2 months' time, we're going to come back and weight it again. But if you want to know if the thing is growing right off this minute, I'll tell you it is, because I can see some of the young spores are coming out. In fact, you could grab the top, right on the top of it. You can see the young little spores right here. You can see. So right at this point, if you have your limu in this manner, it's about, let's see, it's about 8 inches in length. You let it go around, say, about 2 to 3 weeks. Then we'll come back and monitor this limu and measure it again. In that time, 2 to 3 weeks, we expect this limu to grow at least 10% a day. Used to be plentiful, but right now the people are not picking up the proper way. Maybe they don't know how to pick up limu the proper way. Maybe it should be taught. You know, if people pick it up in a proper procedure, and this is the way to pluck it. You hold the bottom of your rock like so, and leave at least 1.5 inches or inch above your rock. So that way, you come back 2.5 months, it will be this long or longer than a foot. Okay? You pluck it like this, just leave about 1.5 inches on the top of the rock and trim it. And leave that much so that it will grow again. You'll come back 2.5 months, you can always pluck. And if everybody does pluck it like this and set it in the ground, push it in the sand area, make sure around is all clean, that you don't have it mixed up with a common type of seaweed, and stick it in the sand and leave it there. You come back 2.5 months, you're ready to harvest again. I started this about 5 years ago. I've done this in front of my house at Ki'iakia. Put in a patch there about almost an acre of Manawe and Ogo only. I used to go around the Bay areas and collect limu, take some samples from here and there, and plant it in front of my place to see if it works, if it grows, and watch it grows. Now, I walk around in that area
the seedlings that we plant in front of my place is scattering around here and there, especially ogo, and this is what we're looking for because it's very hard to get ogo now. So now I know it can grow there, and we know this. We've done the research for a year and have statistics on it, and now I'm sure that that Limu we can replenish that. Then from there, I've wrote up a proposal. I've done that, put up a proposal, and had community backings. And after that, I've talked to Bob, and he liked the idea, and evidently he got the thing going. And today, he asked me, "What you think we can hire people working under the Limu project?" And I asked him, "Who you gonna get?" He said, "You know, you're gonna get all them dropout students to work with. Can you handle them?" The Limu is hard enough to handle, but when you get dropped off with them, it's twice the amount of work that you have to put. Showing the boys new techniques, showing the boys something that they never done in their life. Some of them is they're very afraid of the water. Some of them can't swim that good. So I had to analyze all this and compile it to select individual what project you should be working on.
The point of it is to restore the rest of this bay, or that, get it back to how it was in the old days, and become self-sufficient in the long run, possibly. And I think it's going good so far.
Jack Fisher, a marine botanist from the University of Hawaii, has been advising the Limu project.
Basically, I'm taking a transect across here to try and determine the salinity content as influenced by the freshwater stream that's coming out of there. It seems to be a bit low in this particular spot. The plants aren't that healthy. It could be freshwater influence, too much of it, in fact. It's hard to say at this moment. It is Limu, Gracilaria, but it's from another area of the island in sort of artificial conditions. We've put it in here to see if we can improve its general appearance. It's very thin compared to the normal Limu. Out here it's been largely a question of rough water more than anything else. It gives you inconsistent figures, although even negative results are useful at times. There's a limit. Hopefully we can get something out of all these. We'll have enough units going in each particular spot we're working in. It should give us some very useful information.
Then you will make one more test plant. You will make them with. You will make them all the way to the max. See how fast it grows. I'll be doing this to all these test plants. Then we're gonna throw them back. We're gonna make them exactly like this. These, label them, then put them back in our test unit. Right there is baby shoots coming out, but just cut them anyway. Gonna have 2 of these in each the kind of test unit. Compare from each side which one grow better or which place is better to grow. Before I used to have planning when I was around 8th grade. I used to come out with my mother right out there where we was yesterday. I used to have plenty ogo, but I went down the ogo.
And it's the first time it's been done on a sort of commercial basis. Normally it's a small units. In this case we've got a very big area and a great many people working on it. We should get some useful information out of all this. Once we determine whether an area is useful and stuff is growing well, that's the area they will plant. From there on, I hope they will learn how to grow this stuff and perhaps get into traditional grounds which have been wiped out and reintroduce the species.
While we're doing our Limu project and researching scanning areas with Ogo and Manawea, we run into a lot of pollution. And I hope to see that if people are going to make pollution in the ocean, would take their rubbish back home in the rubbish can where it belongs, not in the ocean. For one simple reason, there's a lot of people use the shallow area to walk in, and this is what we find all in the front area, these broken glasses now. And what I told the boys that if they do run into this type of bottles, glass, like to collect them and bring it back so that way we could advertise to the public and show them what's happening underneath the water.
Randy Kalahiki is the assistant supervisor of the Limu project.
I noticed last week the sampans, the tuna sampans, that's the people coming inside and picking up nehu, catching nehu. I think that's another problem of the beds, the coral beds are being destroyed by the netting of nehu. Last week, for instance, it was about 5, in a matter of 3 days, one day, for instance, they had 5 boats out here just fishing for nehu. And we all witnessed boats coming inside, this harvesting that nehu right outside here. We went back out today, it's all destroyed. I think we have to look at the problem of the tuna industry versus the life of the bay. They need that. I know that the tuna packers need the nehu to fish the tuna, but I think the state has to look at it from another angle too. What's also important beside tuna? People want the limu, okay, and also they want the aku, the tuna. So, what's the balance? I think that's the bottom line. This is the entire Kahalu'u Bay, and this is the Heiakea stretch. That's 1A. We already planted that area, get all the information out already. We're now located right in this area here. It's called 2A. And it's from Kahalu'u Point to approximately in front of King High School, or King Intermediate School. And hopefully we can continue out all the way to Waikalu'u, and Kokokahi, all the way outside to Mokapo, to Nu'upia fish pond fronting. The Century Gate to Mokapo military base is over here. So we're thinking about going all the way outside here to check out all the Limu bays.
When we first started, we searched out this area before, walked the shorelines to find out if we have some grassy area near the shorelines or in the water.
It's right out by by the boat. You gotta go all along the reef, not at the end of the reef, but a little bit inside.
Yeah, it belongs to Marines, yeah? You don't like too much of the local fishermen coming around here?
They chased us out before. It's nothing new.
This one area now that they say that before they didn't have no signs on here. I noticed now they have signs just to keep the people out of the area. And across there we have the fish pond that we wanted to work in, and we also have a heck of a time to find out the procedure of going through it, the formality of finding out who and who to contact. I know whether we have to contact the general or what, or need to see the president of the United States just to get in there, but we sure like to find out who's the main contact. There's a lot of red tapes going through there. We're at this point now at the 1D and 2D. So we can go down to 2C and 1C.
Show them where is 1D and 2D.
This is from the beginning of the gate is 2D. We've been working in there, then this is 1D. And as we go down, we'll 1C, then 2C, then we'll go down to 1B and 2B. So as we go down, we can show you the sites that we've been working in. This is one of the areas that we searched in before, and we're back over here again to check out, see what's the growth. The last time we were here, we found grassy area all over the place, and there was pretty much Limu in this area. The way I look at it now, we have a lot of grassy area. Been picked before. It's loose grassy area. It's not attached to any rocks or corals. I'll get on the other side and take a look at that area. This side looks very, very poor. Not like it used to be. Well, I've been searching on the north side of Kokokahi Pier, which we came before, and looking at that area, there's not that much of a grassy area, especially Ogo. As far as Acanthopria, we have a lot of Acanthopria in the area. It's the most common seaweed. But Ogo is getting to be scarce in this area. See about 5 or 6 months ago, we've been in this area, checking out the area. And now we're back again, that we find a little less Ogo. Like this is the Ogo right here, and this is Manawea, two different types that the market is using. This is the most common seaweeds that we find out in this area now. It's taking over the area, called Acanthopria. This seaweed can be eaten, but what we need to do is have this type growing in this area. So all the seedings that we're making, we should start thinking about replenish this area. One thing I talked about is having commercial picking. They should go through that procedure that we put forth to the Fish and Game. By giving out a license to people who pick up Ogo, for one reason, the Ogo getting scarce in this area, which we have abundant before. And what I see out there, I see a sign that people are not picking up the proper way. For one reason, they're pulling just out by the roots like this, just yanking it out. That's one thing they're not supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be plucking it like so, and leave that much back and plant it back in the sand area, clean area, so that way it will grow again. It will only take you 2.5 months to come back again. But if people is going to pull out by the roots and just strictly commercial and not planting it back, then therefore this bay will be raped and ripped off. You'd be surprised that you even find fishermen in many years been diving and fishing, and themselves not knowing the proper procedure. And I'm very shocked about that. Well, the time has come. Now we're down to the nitty-gritty. I think we have to do something about it.